are some brands that are just part of life. You know, Levi, Kleenex, Campbell's. You probably have your household favorites, I'm sure. At my house growing up, I would watch my mom reach month after month for Good Housekeeping magazine, for recipes, for cleaning and organizing advice, you name it. My grandma actually read this magazine too. It's one of those legacy brands that has spanned the generations, but more than just a magazine. Since the year 1900, Good Housekeeping has been testing and researching products to see if they live up to marketing promises. Beyond that, if a product earns the Good Housekeeping seal, we've heard about that, they promise a replacement or refund if that seal product becomes defective. What other magazine does that? None other, I say. You could say they really mean business there around the Good Housekeeping Institute. I was recently given a rare behind-the-scenes look at this product testing process where I learned a white lab coat is pretty much required. Building is home to 21 different women's magazine titles, including Good Housekeeping, and today we get an inside look at this legacy brand. Let's go. You've seen the symbol, you know the name, but what exactly happens behind the doors of the Good Housekeeping Institute?
On a day-to-day basis, we are doing all kinds of product testing. So we have 7 labs, including the test kitchen. We test beauty products, we test home cleaning products, we test home care things, we test textiles, and consumer electronics. This is a completely science-driven floor. We have engineers, scientists, data analysts, and they are working really hard to basically deliver news and information that consumers can use to help them make better choices.
Performance, price point, ease of use, and results. It's all carefully measured, analyzed, and eventually published.
And once we score the products, we share that with our readers through the magazine.
How do they decide what to test? Well, new and trending products are an obvious part of the lab selection process, but then there's that girlfriend factor, meaning finds even the staff is buzzing about.
It was one of our junior editors who said, I can't get enough of these sheet masks. These are so amazing. I wear them at night while I'm watching television. And then the scientists say, sheet masks. That sounds interesting. We should test them. We are really on your side. We are walking into the Health, Beauty, and Environmental Sciences lab. So this is where we test beauty products and health products as well as anything related to the environment.
Okay.
This is Danusha. She's one of our chemists here. And I think she's going to show us the test that we're doing on hair dryers currently.
Each tress of hair is washed for precisely 30 seconds and then dried for that same amount of time. The locks are then weighed to see how much moisture remains. Here's the start of a 6-hour skincare study, testing just how moisturizing certain creams really are. The skin surface is marked, the product applied, and the results are analyzed at the end of the day. See? Science! Who said beauty and brains can't coexist? In the textiles lab, it's yoga pants that fall under the microscope today. Careful measurements verify the accuracy of product sizing, and a special washing machine tests the fabric for durability.
One cycle through here mimics 5 cycles in the wash, and we can see whether the swatch will fade and whether it will bleed onto other fabrics.
We are in our kitchen appliances and technology lab. We just tested gas ranges. We are currently testing coffee makers. We test refrigerators. Any tool or gadget that comes into contact with food is tested in this lab.
So which cookie stamps will bake up best? You'll have to wait for the December issue to find out. Products are all tested within those 6 labs, but the recipes, those are perfected in the Good Housekeeping Test Kitchen.
At Good Housekeeping, we work a lot on our recipes. We have the luxury of being able to test them until they're perfect. And that means it's going to work in your house because it's already been tested on gas, electric.
Susan Westmoreland is the food director at Good Housekeeping. She says readers would be surprised to learn how many revisions a recipe sees before reaching that finish line.
It may be on the timing. It may be something like, oh, look, this actually scorched in the pan if I left it this long, so maybe we'll take the timing down. It may be, oh, you know what, this needs a little bit more oomph, so we may add. Sometimes it's not salt, sometimes it's like a little bit of lemon juice or something like that to bring up the flavor.
We eat with our eyes. What goes into making those food pictures look so pretty?
We do our food in a really realistic way, but we have to amp it a little bit because what we're trying to do is entice the reader and engage them, not make it look so beautiful that's like, I could never do that, but like, oh, that looks delicious, I really want to do it. So you want a little bit of reality. You're not using scalpels and razor blades. You're doing, you know, if you're doing meat, you might undercook it a little bit to keep the rosy tones up. You might undercook the veggies a little bit to keep them crisp and looking good. But really, it's the recipe.
Do you eat your full every day?
Many days I have a cup of tea for dinner. Or a little salad.
Okay, and here's another part of that process I found really impressive. Once a recipe is quote unquote perfected, the final test is to have different cooks of varying level and skill try it out. So they'll put the recipe in front of a seasoned kitchen cook, they'll put it in front of a brand new 20-something intern. They really want to make sure the prep time is accurate and that the recipe works out for every person every time. So the October issue is out, and the food section this month is kind of a special report titled Save the Food. The goal is to help us cook with every last bit of leftover ingredients that often go unused in our refrigerator. They have several recipes that fit the bill, including this beef and bok choy stir-fry dish. Susan Westmoreland, the food director, who I'm absolutely in love with, she's just is so endearing. She walks us through it, actually, explaining how this basic recipe can work with rice, any veggie you have on hand, and any protein. So basically, it's that go-to dinner idea for the day when you need to but didn't make it to the grocery store. That recipe tutorial is an online extra you'll find posted on our website, studio5.ksl.com. We'll post it on our Facebook too, and I have to say a big thank you to the Good Housekeeping Institute staff. They were just fabulous to work with. It was so fascinating to see the behind-the-scenes process. It is legit science. They tested out. Those white lab coats are there for a reason. I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too, seeing what that's all about.